A long time ago, there lived a woodcutter, and every day he would go out into the woods with his donkey and cart and axe, and he would find just the right tree, not too big and not too little, and he would begin cutting. He would fill his cart with wood and take it into the village to sell. And that was how he provided for his family. For he had a wife to take care of. He also had his mother and father who were getting on in years. Now his father, he took care of the garden, and what a fabulous job he did. He kept it planted, he weeded it, and in the fall time he brought in the harvest. And his mother, well, she did what she could, but several years ago she'd had a fever that had left her blind. And in the afternoon, she was usually found out on the porch, rocking back and forth, back and forth. And how he loved his wife. Oh, he loved her more than the day he had married her. They'd been married now for 7 years. One day when the woodcutter went out to cut some wood, he had his donkey and his cart, and off he went. I am a woodcutter, I cut wood. I am a woodcutter, I cut wood. I should make up more words to this song. I am a woodcutter, I cut wood. He found just the right he found just the right tree. He took his axe and began to chop. Suddenly he looked up, and through the trees, a huge white stag started walking right towards him. He stepped back, fearful of what this creature would do. He glistened in the sun, a big rack of antlers upon his head. The woodcutter stared at this amazing creature, and then the stag bent its head and looked into his eyes and said, "You have been granted one wish. Come back tomorrow at this very same time, and your wish will be granted." The stag turned around and went back into the woods. Whoa! I have a wish! I have a wish! I can wish for anything in the world! What will I wish for? And at that moment he began to think of all the wishes that were possible. He could wish for a large house. He could wish for all the clothes they wanted, or perhaps a table that was always filled with food. Oh, what should he wish for? He loves music. Perhaps I'll wish that I could play any instrument in the world. But I wouldn't have instruments to play. Oh, what will I wish for? He put his axe in the back of the cart and headed back to his home, and it wasn't long before he saw his father out in the garden. He went up to him at once. Father, you'll never guess. I saw this huge white stag, and it told me I can have one wish. It spoke to me, Father." "You saw the magic stag?" "Always wanted to see the magic stag." "Yes, Father, I can have one wish. This is fabulous. What do you think I should wish for?" "What you should wish for, son, is a bag of gold. You can get anything with gold." No, don't wish for a bag of gold. You ought to wish for a pot of gold. You can take your wife's stew pot and ask for a pot of gold like that. No. Better yet, you ought to wish for a whole trunk full of gold. That's what you need to do. Yes, trunk full of gold, son." "Gold, Father. Yes, I could get anything with gold. That's a fabulous idea." The woodcutter walked up to his home, and there was his mother, sitting on the porch, rocking back and forth. Mother, you'll never guess what's happened to me." And he told her the whole story about the stag. She stopped rocking, stared past the woodcutter. "My dear son, I have given you life itself. You should wish for my eyesight so that I could see again. You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me." "Yes, Mother, your eyesight, yes." "Son, there's lots of things to wish for, but my eyesight, that's what you need to wish for." "Of course, Mother." He walked into the house, and there was his wife. Oh, how he loved his wife. She had long auburn hair, and it was pulled back. She was making bread, and her hands were filled with flour. She looked up, and brushed her hands on her apron. "My dear husband, you're home so early." He told her all about the white stag. She came and stood close to him. "My dear husband, how I've longed for a child. We've been married 7 years and no child has come to us. How I've wanted to hold a little baby in my arms. I've wanted to hear the laughter of a child, to hold a child's hand in my hand, to wipe a tear. Oh, this is our chance. We need to wish for a child for us." Yes, a child. That night at dinner, the stew was served, the bread was sliced and passed out. It smelled all so good, and yet the woodcutter did not have much of an appetite. Everyone ate. His father looked at his son. "Now remember, son, you're wishing for gold." "I want to be able to see you again before I leave this earth. I want my eyesight." "Oh, my dear husband, you know what I want." What was a man to do? Soon dishes were cleared up and it was time to go to bed. Everyone was soon asleep. Well, everyone except the woodcutter. He couldn't sleep. He lay there in his bed, tossing and turning and imagining his life with the different wishes. What it would be like if he wished for gold, the fine house they would have, the clothes they could wear, and all the food they wanted. Or if he wished that his mother could see again, how happy she'd be. Oh, be able to see the sunset again. And then if he wished for a baby, oh, the joy that would bring him too. He wanted a child. Oh, what should he do? Before he knew it, the cock had crowed and it was time to get out of bed and fill his cart again with wood. He put his boots on, one foot, then the other, and headed to the stable. He harnessed the donkey to the cart. His axe was in the back, and he headed out into the woods. "I am a woodcutter. I cut wood. Oh, what will I do? I am a woodcutter. I cut wood." It wasn't long before he was at that same spot. There was the notches in the tree from his cuts from yesterday. He pulled the axe and began to chop again. Oh, the axe felt so heavy. He looked up. There he was, the stag coming back through those trees. The woodcutter stood back and dropped the axe to the ground. The stag bent his head and looked directly into the eyes of the woodcutter. "It is time. What is your wish?" "My wish? Oh! My wish is that my mother will see my new baby rocking in a golden cradle." The stag looked at the woodcutter. "Your wish will be granted." And it was.
Excellent.